morning. It is lovely to see you inside today because it's just too breezy out. You wouldn't hear anything. All you'd hear would be... So, you get the idea. It's too windy. It's not raining or anything. It's just too windy. So the nice thing about being inside is we get to do rocks. And this is really groovy. This is a piece of New Zealand. I picked it up when randomly, a long time ago now, I went on a sailing boat trip with my sister. And this chap who wanted to take us out on a sailing boat, hi Linda, at least I'm pretty sure that's where I got this one from. It was a long time ago. And look, it's just really groovy. Clearly volcanic. Well, actually, I don't know clearly volcanic. But it kind of looks like something that didn't, it hasn't grown in layers. It looks like something that's flowed. And it's pretty cool. It's quite light as well. Sort of reminds me of pumice. It's not pumice, but, any geologist is welcome to give it a go. It's a very light stone, which does suggest something volcanic. Julian, good morning. It is great to see you. Now, from one stone that I don't know to another one, this is really cute. A little egg, right? And it's something that has grown, right? Morning, Nora. And then it's got shattered. It reminds me a little bit of a dragon's egg because these lines through it, it's broken. And, there's been pressure, there's been more volcanic fluids come into the cracks, and then they've made extra agate. Good morning, Alicia. You probably know what this is called. I do not know the name of this rock because Alicia knows geology. So anybody who wants to jump in and tell me what they think it is would be great. It is definitely some kind of agatized thing. That's all I know, and it's very cute. So, there we are. Something beautiful. And last but not least, almost everybody will know what this is. Little labradorite heart. Beautiful blue flashes. Good morning, Uber. Jen, it is lovely to see you. Here we are enjoying the sparkliness of labradorite, which, you never get tired of this stone. It's beautiful. When I got this little stone from Trade Me, it was pretty sad. Morning, Emily! Kia ora! From Hi, Lopetty! It's great to see you both. It was pretty sad when I bought it off Trade Me, which is like New Zealand's eBay. And what do you mean sad? Well, crystals have feelings too. Leopard skin, I always think leopard skin, but I just don't know, Linda. I have this funny feeling it's something else, and I just don't know. So there you go. It's beautiful anyway, whatever it is. Nice try. It's what I think, but I really don't think it is. I have to wave it at my friend Jenny. She might be able to tell me. So meanwhile, we're just enjoying this. And it's quite a happy little rock now. But I think, rocks are just like us. Imagine you've been growing in the earth for how many thousands or millions of years, and then somebody yanks you out and decides to polish you into a heart shape without so much as a by your leave. Could that be a bit of a shock? So, just think about it from the rock's point of view. Because everything has a consciousness, right? Everything has some kind of awareness, even if we're not aware of it. So, Today, I want to talk about the death of the old self and the growth and the birth of the new, really. This is probably where this came from. Although, honestly, last thing at night, because I got everything else done, because I was kind of, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? And I just had to, when I get stuck, like when I don't know what it is and I'm kind of listening and tuning in, I just write things until I write something that rings, right? Something that resonates. And it was this idea that we get stuck in who we are. And it's probably a Borg conundrum. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Julian. Morning, Nazreen. Now I just got to crack up a little bit. So we get stuck in the old self. And because we were talking about, there's some, if you read the comments yesterday, there's a little conversation I had with you, Abigail, because I know you'll see this, about how, you're getting faster at shifting out of stuff when it comes up, right? But it keeps coming up. And man, I got bitten yesterday by this incredibly painful, incoherent state. I wanted to climb the walls. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw things. Jane, good morning. And it was about nothing and everything. There was just no sense to it. It was just, You know, I have heard Joe Dispenza, who is my hero, talk about there were days when he just felt like he was losing his mind. And then he says, and you know what? It was a mind I had to lose. I had to lose that mind. It was right. I was losing my mind. Yeah, I know, Labradorite. Exactly, countertops and bathtubs. It's a bit rugged, really. So, you know, losing my mind. I think I lost a mind yesterday because yesterday morning and like the last week or so, I have been going very deep and making really big changes. And the thing about it, when you make a shift in your mind, now remember yesterday I said I had all this chatter, it was really noisy, and then literally something broke and I felt something change in my brain. And I think a whole cluster of neurons that have been firing and wiring a whole lot of crap pruned apart all at once because I really noticed it and everything got quiet. It was amazing, you know, and I came back and eventually in my body, it was like this new blueprint. I felt it, you know, I thought my body woke up again. Oh yeah, I've got a body. I need to breathe now. Big shift. But what often happens when you download or begin to embody a new level of mind is that then your biology has to catch up. Because your biology is not quite in resonance with your new mind. And so it's not uncommon, again, I've heard Joe talk about this, for people to have a huge elevation in their awareness, their consciousness, that they have a really big healing, and then they go home and for the next few days or however long it is, they're sick as a dog. Tabitha, lovely to see you. Welcome. You know, because their body and their frequency and everything has to get rid of the old self. You know, it's like they got rid of 80% of it, but there's 20% of it that's still physically in the body. You know, it's like if you've had a toxic condition and then you completely move past the mind state and the resonance and the frequency of your toxicity, your body is probably going to have to get rid of the physical residue that went with that mind. So I think I had one of those yesterday, and it was really rugged. It was so rugged that I had to drop everything and sit down and, you know, come back to myself because I was almost non-functional. It was amazing, really. So I want to talk about that. Shuzicast, lovely to see you. I want to talk about that because here's the thing. And again, I'm quoting Joe. I plagiarise him and quote him all the time because why would I reinvent the wheel? This is what makes sense to me, so I'm sharing it with you. By the time you're 35, 95% of every thought you think and everything you feel and everything you do is just a set of pre-programmed habits and you don't even know you're doing it. Timothy, good morning! It's just what you do, you know, and he tells a story and I'm going, you know, you wake up in the morning. And what do you do first when you wake up in the morning? Don't you do the same thing practically every morning? For some people, they reach for their cell phone and they connect in with all of this. God, I wouldn't do that if you paid me. I reach for my gratitude journal because some days I wake up and my brain is trying to say, this is a bad day. It's like, no, I'm going to search for things about yesterday that were good so that I can get my brain out of that shitty space before it even has a chance to go there. You know, so what do you do when you first wake up? What do you do? And then what do you do after that? Do you get up and make a cup of coffee maybe? Or you have a drink of water or, you know, whatever it is. What do you do after that? And then already now I'm asking you, what's the next thing that you normally do that? And the next thing that you do after that? Can you see your day is really quite predictable? 95% of it is like that. You know, particularly when you've got a job and you've got bills you have to pay, or, you know, you have a routine, you have a family that you look after and you do the same tasks every week. You do the washing on a certain day and you do the bulk cooking on a certain day and you do the cleaning on a certain day. And it's like you can pick up one week and just put it on the next week and there's very little that's changed. And you know how it's all going to feel. And, you know, that's why people sort of, by the time they get into their sort of midlife crisis area, tend to freak out because suddenly everything is the same and they don't necessarily like it because they've just been doing the program and it's like, hang on a minute, who the hell am I? I don't like this. I want to be something else. I want to have a different experience. I want to feel different. I don't want to be mind-busting forever, you know? So this is the 95% that we do without thinking. You know, And I have quite consciously constructed my day, right? I wake up, I do my gratitude, I quite frequently lie in bed for a little bit of time and just give myself a little time. Because there's not much time in my day, a little musing time, because things come to me. I get up, I have to put clothes on. It's cold. I need water, just water. And, I'll say hello to my husband because he's doing the same thing. And then I meditate. That's it. There is nothing more important in my day than that. And then I put on my shoes, I go to the top of the hill, I take the photograph, I come down and say, hello, I'm going to be live in 10 minutes. I come down, we go live. Then I go put on my work hat and I do that. And there's a work meeting at 9:45 and then I work until I take a lunch break. And then, and then I after my lunch break, I do some more work, and then there's a mix of yoga and Facebook and dinner and Facebook and email and stuff that I need to do, and that's it. I go to bed. And then I do it all again the next day. And what's interesting for me is staying conscious and thinking, is this still what I want to be doing? Mind-busting, heartbreaking. I don't know, Linda. That's an interesting question. I'm not going to get sidetracked on that one. I'll think about it later. Really, you ask curly questions, woman. I love it. So, consciously, do I want to keep doing this? And sometimes when the time pressure has got really intense, and it did yesterday, let me tell you, that was part of what was going on. And I've had such a mind about not having enough time. It had to come up big for me to see it and go, and I asked myself, do I still want to be doing this? Arlen, Bernice, beautiful to see you. Do I still want to be doing this? Because I can't assume it. I cannot say, people would be disappointed if I stopped. No, not automatic. I have to be choosing consciously. And it's a real dance, spinning plates in my life sometimes. Just trying to get everything done because there are extra things that get pushed in sometimes. They get pushed in by life and I have to manage them and still get everything done and still stay coherent, which yesterday and the day before I didn't really manage for the whole day, because sometimes that's what it's like. So, why is this so tough? So we have these programmed lives, right? And the important thing is none of it's wrong, but does it serve you? And if you want to have a different experience in your life, you're not going to have a different experience unless you change some of the ways that you think and feel and act. It's simply not going to happen. Most people, quoting my beloved Joe, most people try to create a new life from the same personality, thinking and feeling and behaving, and it doesn't work. If you're going to have a new life, you've literally got to become someone else. Now, that is really hard because there's a bunch of really redundant hardware in your brain. And by that I mean, and I talked about this yesterday, I've pruned away all these circuits about feeling scared of X, Y, Z and whatever. And I don't actually feel scared of X, Y, Z, but my body still craves that experience. And there's a lot of sort of associated gaming hard software in there that says there's all these things that you should be scared about. And that all fired up yesterday about nothing, right? But it was all there. And I'm looking and thinking, this is bullshit. I don't buy this, but it's screaming at me. And that self, see, that mind, that body, that experience, that being and doing and thinking had to die. And the death of it wasn't pretty. But that's what we have to do. If you're going to become somebody else, if you're going to become some future self, if you're going to have a different experience, the only way that any of us get from where we are now to where we desire to be is to face up to the very part of ourself that isn't going there. That's it. You can't circumvent the part of yourself that is lackful if you want to be abundant. You can't get around the part of yourself that is just so identified with being sick when you want to be well. And you can't continue to avoid the part of you that's terrified if you want to feel confidence or joy or open-heartedness or whatever it is that you feel when you're not scared. It's a huge challenge. Hi, John. We got to face ourselves. We've got to overcome ourselves. And it literally means the biological and the neurological and the chemical and the epigenetic and the hormonal and energetic death of the old self. And that's why it's so hard. Because, we're really, really used to being who we are because of that 95% that we don't even pay attention to, that we just do because, I've got to make my life work. And it would be really inconvenient to change something like this. Hi, Vicky! Really hard work to, change my life, make space for something that I want, get rid of something I don't want but am really attached to. It's deeply challenging to do this. And I just had a sense to talk about this and to say that it's okay to find it really challenging and to realize this is why. Because you're unconsciously, subconscious is one thing, you can sort of pay attention and think, oh yeah, that's going on. Oh, I wasn't noticing that, but it's there. But also deeply unconsciously, no idea of what's running you. And the only way you find out what those unconscious programs are is when you realize that when the shit comes up in your life and it's you, it's not the circumstances, no matter what it looks like, that this is the part of you that has been keeping you where you are and how you are and feeling the way you do. And only you can move through that. And you have to do whatever it is that works for you to move through that. For me, it's, oh my God, get out into the unified field because at least there I can be whole, And I lose the broken, I've lost myself, I miss you so much, Maddie. God, it was painful. Felt completely destroyed. And I guess I needed to be. Came out of that with a new vision for my life. Only took me half an hour. This deep struggle that we sometimes have in ourselves. This is what I wanted to say today. If you're really nose to nose with your own resistance and your own challenges and your own, oh my God, I just can't do this. You got to understand that that's the part of you that's not going where you want to go. And there's no way around that. We got to go through it. And I guess, I'm just saying, find the most effective way to move through it that you can, right? So, she says, okay, stop talking about what you need to do and let's practice it. Let's do it how I would do it, right? And how would I do it right now? If I'm sitting here listening to me and thinking, okay, I know there's that honking great thing that has really been bothering me for the last week, month, year, whatever it is. And it's kind of in my awareness now because she's been talking about these things that just, they don't go away and they don't just disappear because I wish they would. And it's, it's my trauma or my whatever. So that's kind of hovering in your awareness. So what do we do with that? What do we do with that? Because I can feel it in the field of us, you see. We've got this sitting here now. So it's a thing, right? It's coming more front and centre as we pay attention to it. Always, when there is a thing that you're aware of, Lilith, hello, it's lovely to see you. When there is a thing that you're aware of that you don't want, acknowledge it. Yeah, okay, I see it. And by the way, I love you. Thank you for letting me see you because I didn't know you were there before. Maybe I did, but I never looked at you with love and realised that you're here saying, okay, we got to move through this. Realise that that thing is accompanied by a whole bunch of neural architecture of all the times that you've thought, the thoughts that are circling that you haven't been paying attention, but pay attention to what you think about this, the words that run through your mind, and pay attention to the feelings that you have. I mean, physically, how does your body feel as you consider this thing? Don't look at it too hard, but just enough to think, I feel this tension, or I feel this desire to lash out, or I feel this desire to just go into a corner and cry. Okay, whatever that is. You've got it enough to say, okay, fine. Who do I want to be instead? This is my habitual self. I do this 95% of the time, and trust me, you do. I do as well, without even noticing it. I think these thoughts, I feel these feelings, they are the undercurrent of my life and I'm not aware. So, that's fine. That's okay. That's normal. Just pick one little corner of the chocolate bar that you're going to nibble on and say, I want to change this. Of all of the stuff that this could be or that I could become when I'm on the other side of this, let me just pick one little bit and focus in on it. Who do I want to be instead? Yeah, so if you feel hopeless and trapped and weak, maybe you just want to imagine, like, a dove being released into the sunshine, a blue sky. Give yourself a different picture. Give yourself a different... Now, it's not just a picture. See, I see that, and see there's a movement. And there is a feeling that goes with that of expansion and freedom. Or maybe, if you're just feeling really in pain, maybe if your body's hurting, you can imagine warmth, just a kernel of warmth in the place that's... And you just imagine it. It doesn't have to be possible, right? Just imagine it, a kernel of something warm and soothing, and it's expanding, and the pain is melting. You need to create, see? You need to create. So just pick something. And it's all right if you think, oh my God, this is hazy. I don't get it. I can barely imagine my life different. I know how that feels when I can't imagine myself different. But just pick something. And in the next minute, because that's what we've got, bring that something, bring your awareness into your heart. You know it's coming. You're probably already doing it. Bring your awareness, breathe that into your heart. Breathe your awareness in and out of your heart. And as you breathe in and as you breathe out, there's a number of ways you can play with this. You can breathe this little kernel of whatever it is that you're playing with straight into your heart and just let it rest there. And be thinking about the thoughts and the feelings. Hi, Joe! Be thinking about the thoughts and the feelings and what you'd be doing. This is creating, right? Or, I can imagine myself being in that under that blue sky with the sun in my eyes because there's a sunburst and the dove is there and I'm releasing it because I've got to set myself free. This is the thing. Nobody is keeping me in prison. I do it to myself. So if I'm setting myself free into freedom and power and strength and, liberation, and I'm embodying that and I'm breathing that embodiment in and out, but I'm actually putting it around me. I'm standing in that scene. What can I hear? What's the ground under my feet? Is the air really cold and clear like we're on a mountaintop, or is it warm? Are you by the sea? Are you in the bush? Where are you? Make it real and breathe. Keep your attention in your heart and let it become real. See, we can do this. This is how you do it. And just by changing your focus and putting your attention, you are creating different neural networks in your brain and you're sending different chemistry to your body. And you just have to practice. You just have to practice over and over and over. If you've been firing and wiring despair and helplessness for 50 years, it's probably going to take some time. And I don't mean 5 minutes and I don't mean one month. I've been firing and wiring my way out of my own what the hell is joy for 14 months now. And I think in about 11 months I really connected with joy for the first time. That was like, oh, this is what joy's like. How weird. I'm still doing it. It's like, this is what it feels like to the joy for existence. Oh, it's kind of nice. It's weird. I'm not used to it. We all hold the keys to our own cages. It's absolutely true. More than holding the keys to our own cages, we all hold immense magnificence and power and glory and amazingness beyond what you can imagine. So however you do it, this is who you are. Very much love. Remember, this is who you are. You can do it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.